Hello boys, waiting for green to appear. In the meantime, let's wait for deployment to go on. Anyway. Okay boys, let's talk a bit before Mr. Green. Wait. Let's talk a bit before Mr. Green comes in. 12 minutes deployment, pretty long one, I need to admit. Let's talk about the map. The map is Shredrin 2v2 version. Actually, this is like west part of the Shredrin. The east part, usually this is the 4v4 portion of the map. One thing to notice about team games, so 1v1 map is this. So you have around like 8 kilometers to cover of frontline width. 2v2 version is that only has this portion, like, or even like this, like this portion more. So it's very small portion of the map added, but one more people with the very same income added. This is like substantial increase if the unit density in points density per like frontline kilometer. And 4v4 version only adds like this area. So basically what happens that this is 1v1 version and 4v4 version is approximately twice bigger. So what you end is 2 times more units than in 1v1. About the map, I really like the map. Usually the biggest hit is happening on the hill. Why? Because if you lose this hill, and if you lose this hill, or even this, most of the time, it's very hard time to come back. Especially if you don't have long range advantage. If enemy is fortified, dug in with AA, AT guns, IG guns, and so on. City, on the other hand, it's pretty easy to lose against certain divisions, especially divisions, you know, like off map, like 97 off map going for 9 minutes. Good luck in stopping it, and good luck in pushing for 10 minutes into the town. That's not going to happen. But on the other hand, it's very easy to retake. If you're able to maintain like armor superiority here, some AT guns here, this will come to basically grinder and jumping from house to house. About the matchup, so for Colonel Koenig we have Baktina and 126. What meets in common this both division? A lot of infantry, weak AA top, and pretty good air top. On the other hand, for Axis we have 25th Panzer Grenadier, so Stuks. Decent, I mean a lot of Panzer Grenadiers in infantry top. To be honest, this is pretty okay division. The biggest weakness is of course AA top. It's not like AA is very bad. It's more AA is you have only 2 cards, 2 slots for AA. On the other hand, Rapana, Finnish troops, so you know Yakari with Molotovs, potent in city combat and in forest combat. A lot of cheap Blenheims. And of course, favorite unit of Sir Daniel's, probably 15-point tank. 15-point tank, it's not like it will win the battle for you, but you know, enemy needs to counter it. It's 15 millimeter of armor, and yes, some Soviet squad have PTRS. You can have cheap 30-point AT gun, But if you don't have it, you need to invest into tank to kill it. Fortunately, French group has BT7s for 25, and this is very very potent tank. It can still lose, of course, to T26, but I think it's a bit more fair. Green is still not here, so I think we'll
You
take
could
a look.
stream the game to me, so I can see the game.
All right,
That'd be very nice.
I didn't know you are here. Okay.
I'm sneaky.
You scared me. I was like about to jump, but I like reminded myself that I'm on stream, you know.
You
Okay.
can't jump on stream?
Can you see the stream on the Discord?
Yes, I can see everything.
Perfect. So let's go. What do you think about the matchup between the division green?
I'm not surprised by the divisions that both factions received. 25th Panzergrenadier, let's see, a little bit of a forgotten division, really. Not the best. Expensive infantry. Really nothing that they, let's say, shine. There's no sector they shine in, so there's no strong, really, points of the division that would really make you want to play it. Remarapana, yes, so the only division which has no vehicles that have more armor than 15 millimeters, which I guess says for itself. Against Baktina, a very potent division, I think, with very strong infantry and strong off maps. I think this one is one that I would like to play. I think it's an interesting one. And against 126, as I can see, from the BT7s, also a nice division. I think fun one to play. So yeah.
Do you see the new meta? Using Schwimmwagen mortar to claim the flag and provide you support. This is
I think that's some big brain moves right there.
guys. If you don't know what to do in game, copy this guy certainly. Early
Yep,
engagement, I think this is going in favor of the Axis team, mostly because so far Ally didn't commit a lot. What do you think about Finnish fighters though?
Cheap, but swarmy. So you just spam them, really. But no, I think they're not that bad actually, because if you look at their armaments, you can find some really nice planes. Those ones where they're not that bad, but well, later, if you look at, let's say, what do they get? They get some more expensive fighters too, which look really nice, and the Bruisers with alloys also look very, very nicely. So, of course, it's not like no-brainers. You have to micro them a bit. But they can be really good.
All right. So far, engagement are going in favor of French team. Again, air war superiority is maintained by the Axis team, but the ground superiority, at least for now, is in favor of Allies. This is pretty weird because I didn't think that Allies will give like early fighter wars so easily.
The thing is, with Rimarapana, that infantry is good as long as it's, well, let's say, in 100 meters, they prevail. Because they just have 20-point spammable Yakari with Molotov. But on the other hand, I would still favor allies on the ground when it comes to infantry quality, because of the Grupa Baktina with Chernaya Bushlati, very strong infantry. And with Gornostarki, who have also some quality infantry in the deck. So I'm not that surprised with with what's happening on the map right now, and I think it will really come down to other factors like airplay, maybe tanks, perhaps because the 25th Panzergrenadier has Stugs after all, maybe artillery, but I doubt it.
So I just noticed that 94M doesn't have move and shoot on itself.
I believe that would be quite challenging to shoot on the move from this, without even talking about shooting precisely. But that's a good AA piece. I really like it. Really effective. but the only problem with it ran out of ammo really quickly.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that Yakari are very potent forest troop fighters with the Molotovs, you can see that middle hill is falling back into Axis favor. In the meantime, I'm a bit concerned because Axis looks like they lost at least 5 stooks in the first 4 minutes. It can be painful. I'm not sure how many stooks does Suntir have in the deck in phase A. Because if you bring 2 cards, how much you get? 8 in total?
Of course, depends on the veterancy, but I'd say yeah, somewhere around there, yeah.
They have zero
And
veterancy. They have zero
and the thing
veterans.
is, he's balanced, and he has 3 cards, I think, maximum. So 2 cards on A, I'm not sure if it's worth it for a balanced player, especially that Stugs, especially that matchup. Stugs will be very important, and you don't want to lose them very quickly in A, like, well, they're doing right now. But they have an amazing AT tab. Why not use something from the AT tab? They have
Yep.
murders, if I'm not surprised, if I'm not wrong, sorry. And those are cheaper and, let's say, more expendable to use an A. Cluster bomber on a T26, that's something I've never seen, I have to say that.
That's overkill, especially that whole your infantry in the town has. You have even bazooka, you have PTRDs, and you have 280 guns. Not and PTRS. You don't need.
Would you call it asserting dominance?
I
think
would
it's
call it. I
going on.
would call it. Yeah, certainly asserting dominance
Imagine
move.
now. Imagine this IL2 goes down. That would be a massive mistake from the Allied player to lose such an important plane on a T26. Well,
And
he
not
was
to
lucky there.
mention, they already lose at least one MiG recon fighter and 2 other fighters. So it's not like the
Yep.
air war is going in their favor, right?
Yep.
That,
So we have, well, okay, 25th is the division with literally no AA. They have the SDKF sets with the flak links on them, 2 cards, but those are expensive slots. While Rima, okay, they have a bit more infantry, I mean AA. They have 1 card of Bofors, if I'm not wrong. But this AA is still not the best. So losing planes will, well, I'd imagine, mostly due to enemy fighters. But if played well, I think there shouldn't be problems with that for the Allied players.
only 2 AA pieces so far from Allied team. It's not like they have a lot, but this is third fighter in last 2 minutes, which goes down for the Axis. I think that air war will be crucial for this game. You cannot lose freely fighters if you want to win. Especially that we know that Colonel Koenig and Icarus are winning already 1-0.
Yes. Okay, I agree those are expendable planes. They're cheap. You have a lot of them. But it's still something. I'd rather save them for B or C. Especially that Azrima Rapana Air Force is crucial for you. You have those Blenheims, very good bombers, quite fast. Usually get the payload off. And you really need the air superiority, because if you don't have it, well, apart from the air, from the ground, I don't think there's any places that you will prevail in. Artillery, my teammate from the 2v2 tournament would say, but I can't really see artillery being used right now in the game.
So
It's a bit
Green,
too
you mentioned that you play in the 2v2 tournament. Could you
do.
tell me? Could you tell me what is your best rebuild division?
You mean the worst division, or the one that I'm the best with?
The
It's still
one you would like to have. The one you would like to have.
Mm, well, I wouldn't be, angry if someone would decide that third GDK is a terrible division. I would really be, I'd be very happy. But no, I think Lovesh is one of those divisions. I think highly underrated, because I think it's a good division when it comes to like the normal game itself. It's just not the best division at what it does. There's just divisions that do it better.
All right.
But I
All right.
wouldn't be
Noted.
surprised at
Noted.
Lovash. Oh, hey, that's not, hey.
And
That's not how
excuse
we
me,
do it.
who do you play in the first match?
We're in the second round. We're
Oh.
waiting for the winner of this matchup. Oh wait,
Okay.
it's good. I'm looking at. Wait. I think I should pay attention a bit more.
Okay, air
Okay, so maybe
engagement,
it's a
and
lot
these
of
are two
points.
Spitfires going for down, in my opinion. Let's take a look if they can catch up. They are 50-10 or 55, and I cannot check, but I think, okay, Spitfire is quick enough to escape. Pretty lucky though. I think that Colonel Koenig should be punished for going so deeply over an MEA.
Yeah, it's something that I see many. Well, I wouldn't say Colonel Koenig is a new player, but it's a common mistake. For Colin Koenig is not that bad, because he has a lot of planes, I'd say, but Actina doesn't have at least the recon ones. But in a moment where you play with a good division, with a division that has, let's say, G6s R6s, and you lose one like that because you went to the enemy spawn, that really hurts. So it's definitely something you need to learn to not do, because the probability that you'll catch the enemy plane when it's already close to the spawn is really small. So I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't really bother.
All right. In the
Boston.
meantime, as we are
Oof.
talking, Axis is losing complete dominance in the middle hill. I'm pretty sure that all of these troops heal. It means like Morskaya Piechota and 2 times Morskaya Shturmoviki. They can easily clear the Yakari. And it looks like Axis is getting thinner and thinner in the west. What do you think about this flank, Green?
I really don't like the positioning of this Stug. If I'd be in the place of this guy, I'd just run away. I'd just bail out, run away. There's 3 infantry squads with 80 grenades coming at him, and oof. Oh, there he
The
is. He's running away. Yeah. I think he's too slow.
gone.
There we go. He's dead. He's dead. He's not coming back to his family.
By the way, every game I like to pick my like honorable winner, and honorable winner for this game is Suntir for bringing new meta. Bowser, you hear? This is new meta. He brought Mortar in Schwinwagen to go through this lake and secure this flag by influence and supporting the front line. Suntir,
This is
we love you.
it's some big brain, I'd say. It's some big brain matter. I think I have to use it in my divisions as well. It's I think the enemy sees a Schwimmwagen. They think, oh, MG. No, I'm not going there. A flamer or something. No, I'm not going there. And you're a big brain. It's a mortar. I can kill you anyway from range because I have a mortar. See, this is some big brain there.
Okay, and in the meantime, Morskaya Shturmoviki clearing the forest, as I mentioned, that it will happen pretty early, and we are going to 16-8.
Well, as we've seen in the first game, Buff C on spawn. Well, I mean, it's not that big of a loss right now because, well, that wouldn't change much anyway. This thing can be killed by AT rifles pretty easily, and gotta look at it. There's
Yeah.
plenty of them in the town, and at this moment, the only thing I could see changing the situation in the town is an off-map, juicy off-map. Like imagine an off-map in this town right now. That
Yeah.
would be juicy.
Off-map in this town would probably get like 250 points if I calculate correctly. It could swing the game at least in a moment for a favor, like getting this flag, maybe this one, killing the combat in the process, like 2 AT guns. This could be huge. But so far we are more likely to see plane going down. Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, the only problem is, if from what I remember, Rimarappana has a off map which is a plane, and I would say bringing out a plane right now is not a good idea. And 25th Panzergrenadier, I'm not sure right now, but I don't think they have any off maps. So yeah,
What do you think
gonna
about
be tough.
Vekotins as a APs?
Nicotine?
Yep.
A little bit better 20 mil, I guess. They're not like really good or something. But I mean 60 points is quite expensive. But I guess if you spam them, they can work. But if I had a choice, I'd just go for bow versus. Okay, they're expensive, but only 30 points more. And believe me, it's a guarantee of a job well done.
Okay. We talked earlier that both teams are going full balance. What you can see that's different from the previous game that we already see artillery on the field. Even though it may be not the best buy for the Axis as they are losing 16-8, This is something you usually include in a balanced deck. I mean, a lot of artillery.
Yes, I mean, artillery is really good if we have a stalemate. If there's nothing happening on the game, if it's hard to push for both sides, then artillery game is like I'm sure you'll see a lot of it. But in a moment where you're getting pushed quite decisively, it's a 16 to 8. You need to do something, otherwise in 8 minutes you'll be out of the tournament. As long as it's not a Nebelwerfer, like we can see one, which is rather an offensive piece because you attack and follow. Something like a 100 millimeter, I'm not sure because it's still quite a lot of points spent, and I prefer to spend it on anything else.
By the way, I need to admit that the only player microing air in this game is Icarus, because the other three guys, so Colonel Koenig, Suntir, and Badger Jelly, and you could see it like 1 minute ago, they are just sending hordes of airplanes together, moving, like attacking, right clicking one single plane, and they are just dancing around. This is so funny to
Yeah,
watch.
small mistake for me. I mean, if you ask me, because well, in this game, airplay and the air superiority is huge. It's massive, and especially from the Axis, they need the air superiority, so they need the micro, and the lack of micro on their part. Well, I'd say it's a bit disappointing, but I mean, you cannot expect everything from newer players, right? I have to say that both of those players both of them will play in the Greenhorn Cup made by Bootcamp. If you're new to the game, I highly suggest you signing. I think it's a great way to get into this competitive side of the game. And both of those players from the Axis side are in there actually. So of
Yeah,
course,
there is
less
no
experience.
shame in being new to the game or
Of
even
course,
bad at the game. As long as you want to improve, as well as long as you want to have fun, there is community and place for people like you. I mean, newcomers and weaker players. Come to the Discord called Bootcamp. I will go and say recommendations. Boom. You see the link to the Discord, maintained by very same green speaking to me, by the way.
yes. I think it's well, as long as you want to improve, and you will try, you can get absolutely the best. You can really be the best because okay, there's a bit talent in being good in the game. You need to be quick, in thinking. You need to let find solutions easily. You need to think in front of your actions. But if you work enough, you can be Division 1 easy. And I think there's one player in Division 1 who showed it. It's Vestley. Vestley was, well, he wasn't that good before, and then he practiced, and now guess how far he got? He got to the semi-final of Division 1. So I'd say it's impressive, and this is really what training brings. It's really all about training.
Yeah.
So
From the other hand, I personally ask a lot of very good players to stream in Discord or in Twitch, for example, Gonza or Nila, and they are very, very good players. Very, very good players. But I need to admit, it's not like they have alien outstanding micro out of another planet. Their micro is good, but it's not the micro which wins them the game. It's map knowledge, game knowledge, macro. So basically, knowing where to spam which kind of units.
definitely, yeah. But all right, we're getting a bit away from the game, which is the most important right now. I think
Do you think
I
we
think
are getting
Dennis,
away from the game or Axis is getting away from the game?
both. I'd say both. No, I think it's the game is pretty much over. The easiest way to look at it right now is to look and maybe not count manually. That will take too much time. But look, how many units do we have on the field? We can see how many blue units we have and how many red units we have, and I can guarantee you, the difference is quite big, and the difference, well, it makes a difference because both teams make the same amount of money right now. Both teams make 155 points right now. What this means that blue side cannot make any big, well, they can't come back from the income, and losing planes like this, I know TTC wanted to point that out, is not a good way to come back to the game.
I wanted to
So-
say that maybe I'm wrong because it's funny when you look at air engagements, it's usually that they send at least 2 planes together. It looks like, like modern era fighters going in pairs, and one. That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome,
well,
boys.
it works, right? And that's another one down. And yeah, it's really like America because you can see the Messerschmitt really getting lost. Like he doesn't know what to do really now. Oh God, is he getting weapon jammed from the back?
Yeah, I think it was Boston.
Really?
It was Boston
Oh.
rear gunner.
Did
But
he read out a rear gunner?
kill was for 94. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 94s. Yeah, those had to pin it down really quickly. Those things, you don't get a lot of them, but those things pin down, like, yeah, like 1 second and you're pinned down. If you have those 2 of those, yeah, just forget about your plane.
Okay, so Suntir and Butter Jelly, if you ever watched our cast with Green, I think that's very good that you participated in the tournament. You showed that even new people can fight. I think that after Greenhorn tournament, you will improve and you will enjoy the game. Suntir is spiritual winner of this game for Mortar move, and Butter Jelly is
Definitely.
spiritual winner for the previous game, not surrendering. So
Yeah.
you are spiritual winner of 2 games. You won in my heart.
You're the fan favorite, right? So that's the most important. Fans' favorites. Well, as this game comes to an end, I don't want to say anything to get the people up, but there's 2 more replays we can look at, and I think those are really interesting. I don't know if you have more time now, but
I have more time. I need 5-minute break to get some water because my water bucket is empty. Let's talk about KD. So this game was much more cleaner for French team. French team again is BDC. So Colonel Koenig 42 and Icarus, Suntir and Badgerjerry. Thanks for participating. Spiritual hack for you, and see you around.